Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm here on the island of La Palma. It's a couple days before the 2016 Transvulcania Ultramarathon. I'm with Sage Canaday. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's great. Great to be back here. I love this island.
This is your third time here. What keeps bringing you back?
Lots of things. The course, the people, the culture. It's just it's an amazing island, especially coming from Colorado to be like in a tropical. Yeah, and it was still snowing in Boulder like a day or two ago. So
yeah, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Sorry, Boulder.
So I mean the island's so diverse too, because Sandy and I came out a week ago, and we've seen you see the different climates, the pine tree forests, the volcanic rock. Being on top here at altitude, 8,000 feet, and then down on the beach here. So it's a great mix, and just the excitement. You don't get any. The people here are just amazing crowd support.
It's certainly a niche of a niche of a niche here on the island, but the fan frenzy and the trail running culture here is just super emphasized, isn't it? It
is, and you meet people from all over the world. The race is organized really well. I've only done the Speedgoat 50K 3 times. So this is the other race that I'm gonna try to do at least 3 times now. So it's definitely a favorite to do a race 3 times in the last 4 years. Tops my list.
So 2 times here previous, 2 times on the podium. What kind of goals do you bring back this time?
Always to improve. There's always 3 things I see, 3 challenges going into a race, any race. First challenge is the course. Trying to tackle the course. You got 14,000 feet of climbing, just crazy terrain over 45 miles. The second challenge is, trying to place well, improve your rank, win your age group, maybe go after your personal time goal. And the third main challenge is competing against yourself. Just how far can you go into feeling a lot of pain and suffering, and willing yourself to push harder and faster than you've ever gone before. And those kind of all tie together, but I think all those challenges, I'd like to improve my time. I think you compare time on the course, try to crack 7 hours, and then try to improve place, try to be better than third. That's what I've been the last few times. So.
Better than third.
Yeah, it's always a challenge, and then just survive the course without falling and hurting myself.
This course is hugely diverse. You sort of start on the stark volcanic pumice, and you climb up through it's kind of like the rainforest of the tropics, and then you top out into another volcanic wasteland of sorts, and then you repeat the whole thing over again. What part of this course do you really like?
The climbing.
I knew you were gonna say that.
It's very specific on the climb, so I was thinking about it in terms of efficiency, in terms of running economy, and I think based on Speedgoat and other races I've done well in, it's runnable climbs, but still steep climbs. I like solid footing, and I like 15% grade uphill. That's what I've narrowed it down to. Whereas I think
here's my window of enjoyment and success.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very narrow window, very specific, and you get everything in this course. So it is a big challenge from the technical descents to also the loose footing on the volcanic rock. I'm not as efficient power hiking. I'm not as efficient if I'm slipping around a lot. I hate snow. Snow running is the worst. But yeah, it's a huge challenge. You're ascending a lot, but you're also, and through varying grades, but you also have that big technical descent and a lot of descents in the middle as well. So I think it's a fair course. It's a true sky running type of style course. It's very technical. And I think people always think I like the road section. Well, I ran the road section from OPR the other day. I don't like it. I want it to be steeper. I don't want it to be a flat road. I want it to be 15% grade uphill.
So you're kind of changing a little bit in that you're starting to prefer the more mountainy type climate. When you first converted over, it was the runnable stuff that you really gravitated toward or did the best on. I
think I've done so many different types of mutt running events now that I've kind of I know I like Speedgoat, but there's so much to try. You don't know, and experimenting with different training backgrounds, it does change. I think going into this race, the past 2 times I did this race, I was coming off Lake Sonoma,
yep,
which was 4 weeks before this, which is not ideal. It's a bad idea. I've always felt like I've shortchanged myself here at this race a little bit because I was beat up from Lake Sonoma. Then at the same time, I had planned my schedule. I knew I was going to do Lake Sonoma. Then this race, Lake Sonoma, I never did enough runnable stuff. I never did enough climbing for this race. So hopefully I could do better this year just because I didn't do Lake Sonoma. And try, because that's like the polar opposite in the whole spectrum. Like Lake Sonoma is the most buttery, smooth single track you could get in the U.S.
Yep.
So I focus more on the climbing and the sky running style in the past couple months.
Okay. So your goal is to improve positions, go faster. You know this course pretty well at this point. What's that going to take? Like, what kind of changes is that going to take for you out there?
Well, I'll monitor my splits. Like, I'll look at my Strava splits from last time, and you're kind of racing. You're racing the clock. You're racing your own splits. You're racing the competition as well, though. So you're responding to moves. You're seeing how the lead pack, how people are feeling, kind of on different areas. And then you're reading your own body cues. So I don't know how that's going to be till I'm in the thick of it.
In terms of your own personal performance, though, like, what is it you like? Look back on previous performances and say, I nailed it in that section. I want to do that again. But in other stuff, you're like, oh, I want to run that section better than I did last time.
There's no section I feel like I nailed on this course. I felt like I was falling apart the whole descent, I guess. So. Hopefully I can descend faster, I guess, and just be more consistent. It's hard on this course with all the extreme changes in vertical to kind of say, oh, I paced myself well because I was going by feel, but to run a more even effort, even pace type of race, something that yields a sub 7 hours, I guess, would be the ideal. And where I pick up time, it would probably have to be in the middle somewhere to the end. To finish stronger and to try to place higher, I guess.
So the kind of running that you've been doing, I don't know, if we just take the last 8 or 10 months of your life, big 100-mile mountain race, marathon training, which is kind of the endurance antithesis, right? And now medium distance sky type race.
Yeah.
You're super all over the place with what you've been racing.
I've been too all over the place, probably. Any surface, any distance. That's what I go for.
And I take that literally.
Yeah. I did Comrades and Speed Goat last year, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't count UTMB because I didn't finish. It was
but you trained for it.
Yeah, I did train for it. Yeah, and coming off Speed Goat, that was a whole mountain summer.
Right.
And that was coming right off of Comrades and the Boston Marathon.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I ran a lot of road marathons trying to hit the trial standard and failed to do that by 12 seconds, which was rough. I did run 4 marathons in the past in that 10-month span and averaged 2:19:50 for those 4. So I was consistent, just consistently too slow by like a minute, here and there. But I was really proud of that road streak. 16th at Boston was my best road performance. But it made the transition hard.
Yeah.
And I guess what I learned from it was that I need to be more patient with the transition. You can't just go, you can't be like, oh yeah, 2 months later I'll just do, UTMB and get my mountain legs back. You don't get your mountain legs back right away, just like you don't get your road legs back right away. But it depends what level you are, I think, in the sport. And like obviously focusing as a professional road runner, marathon runner, it's harder for me to make that transition back to full road speed. Where I was just kind of coasting through it, I think, for the most part. So it is a tough transition, but I love the challenge of any surface, any distance.
Well, my last question for you is, so you kind of have that experience of trying a lot of different things within a fairly short window of time. Mm-hmm. What does this season hold in store for you?
Western states will be next.
Yeah.
So that's the big focus.
Yeah.
More trail ultras, no road marathons for a while.
No.
And not until the next trials window opens. Then I'll go for it full tilt, and I'll actually have to dedicate like probably 3 or 4 months to just speed training for the road. Just if the Olympic trial standard's the same, because otherwise it's too hard to inch out that last minute.
Yeah.
But
I think you've proven that pretty well. Is that that last minute for you?
Yeah,
Isn't
and I'd love to go back to Comrades too. I didn't give that race the respect it deserved in terms of training on the roads for doing a road ultra. But no, I'm full tilt into mountain trail stuff for at least the next year till the end of the year.
So Western states, and then do you know what you'll do after that?
It's up in there. Oh, CCC.
Oh.
I'll just, I want to go back to Chamonix.
slightly
love it
shorter
there.
distance.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have the points for UTMB.
Okay.
And I think being patient, hopefully if I could just finish Western States, if I could finish a 100-mile race, I'd be really proud of going a full distance finally.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do 2 in a summer because I'm trying to improve my longevity hopefully. So got to be patient, and it's probably better that I do. I mean, CCC's already enough of a
It's a lot of
100K in the
hours out
mountains.
there.
Yeah, and it's the part of the course I never got to.
Yeah.
So I get to
you
see
the
like
rest of
the
it.
second half of UTMB and try to get things in line for next year hopefully.
That's kind of funny because you climbed out of Courmayeur last year with your super bum knee,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then stopped at the next refuge, right?
I think I was hobbling, like with my trekking poles supporting me. I broke one trekking pole.
You'll probably feel about 212% better.
I hope
first climb
so.
this year.
Yeah, no
That's funny.
helicopter rescues. They don't bring on the helicopter unless you're not moving anymore.
Well, best of luck to you this
Thank you.
weekend on your
Thanks.
goal of better than third.
Yeah,
Faster than
I'll
last
need
time.
it. Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thanks.